Hey, yeah, it's Shay from Shay Imperium, and this is my second attempt of doing this video. So we'll see how this one goes, okay? Right. Yeah, today has been all sorts, so I'm just doing my best to be as grounded as possible and get through the things that I need to do today, okay? Now, the thing with these videos, pretty much from this point onwards, particularly through the discussions of soul core wounds, okay, what I'm going to do, and hopefully by the time this is posted, you will notice this, what I'm going to do is actually attach pictures that I've taken. I was guided to go off into nature this morning and take some pictures of our beautiful nature. Because it's a beautiful sunny day today. So yeah, I was guided to go and do that. Okay, and basically what I'm doing with these pictures that I have taken is I'm going to infuse them with healing activations within themselves, okay, within the actual picture. So what's going to happen with that is I will attach them as thumbnails for these videos, particularly with the soul core wounds, okay, and you know, for yourself, whenever you want to, you know, just pause the video and when it clicks over to the thumbnail, just sit there and soak up the energy of the thumbnail itself, okay? Because as I said, I will be infusing the thumbnail pictures with healing energy, okay? So yeah, and that's just a little something for you, just a little, I don't know, like a little pick-me-up, I guess, a little bit of, just a little something for you to use for yourself. And I'm trying to talk and I still can't really focus with my eyes, but anyway, I'm detaching. Yeah, so it's just a little something for you as you deal with all these energies, and look, it's something that you can come back to at any point that you feel you want to, okay? If you feel guided to, yeah, just click on the actual picture or the video, wait for it to go into the thumbnail mode, and then, yeah, okay, just sit there and kind of look at it and just soak up the energy, okay? And just, yeah, just kind of feel into it, and hopefully it will just give you a little bit more healing energy, okay? Because everybody needs it at this time. And look, while I do love the warrior angelic thumbnail, I absolutely love it because it fits our collective to a T. But I feel like it's a little bit much at the moment, and so I've received that confirmation as well. Excuse me. And that's purely because, you know, while you are a warrior angelic, you will always have that instilled within you anyway. But with these new thumbnails of nature, it's just going to assist you in feeling a little bit calmer, okay, and give you a little bit of healing, particularly as you deal with all these energies, as I've mentioned, okay. So yeah, it's just a little extra something that I can do for you guys to help you through, okay. Because look, we all need a little bit of assistance at this time, and bless my oversoul, part of their way of assisting me was guiding me out to nature again, just to soak it up and just be there and, you know, breathe it in really, and just ground myself a little bit more, because I am dealing with a lot. And yeah, these embodiment upgrades have been insane over the past week or so. Excuse me. Yeah, which I will get into in a minute. But yeah, so the thumbnail will be there. Okay, so anytime you want to go into it and just feel the energies, go for it, okay? The other thing, once I receive the link from Francy about the current energies, I will put that in the description box, okay, as well. And you know, I also kind of want to let you guys know that even though I'm not feeling your clairsentient energies and the attacks that your collective from second wave onwards are receiving, even though I'm not feeling that, I'm still feeling other things from you guys, okay? So mental aspects and emotional aspects are still coming through to me. So this is how I can still gauge where you guys are at the very least on a mental and emotional level, okay? Um, and still basically feel what you're dealing with, not on a clairsentient level, but on other levels, okay? And that's how I've known that you guys are having a bit of a rough time, okay? And yeah, and I just wanted to kind of quickly mention with some viewers who are maybe new to this channel, who haven't subscribed, but you kind of come back and you do click on my videos and watch some of my stuff. You know, I kind of do need to mention that the second that you view my videos, a portion of your energy does come through to me, okay? And regardless of however long you've been with my channel, okay, I still feel you. And generally speaking, I feel everyone anyway, but that's a different story. But yeah, with clicking on my videos, it's more of a direct channel through to you kind of thing. Anyway, I'm mentioning this because I have heard some things come through, and you know, it's not needed, basically, okay? This channel is a space of non-judgment, okay? You come to this channel, you view my videos, there does not need to be any judgment. You are not supposed to be in that space, and if you are, then, you know, please by all means don't click on these videos. You know, you don't need to watch them if you're coming back to click on these videos in order to come from a space of judgment. That's not what I'm about. That's not what this channel is about. And everyone who is still here and who is still part of this channel also knows this, okay? You know, I try to keep this channel as clear and positive as possible, okay? And so when I start hearing things that are coming through from particular viewers and things like that, when things start coming through, I sense it, I feel it, I hear it, all of it, okay? And look, at the end of the day, if things don't resonate with you, then you don't need to watch it. It's as simple as that, okay? And excuse me. And the thing is, you know, if what I do discuss in my videos doesn't resonate with you, then all that really means is that you're not ready to hear it yet, okay? Or it could also be what you need triggered within yourself as well, okay? And as I always say with triggers, please acknowledge your trigger and then process that and work through it as you are guided to, okay? Because we don't need to put out negative energy to anybody, you know, even if it's in thought or feelings, okay? Because somebody will receive it, regardless. Somebody will always receive it. Excuse me. And the reason why they will receive it is because we are all connected and we are all one. We are all one, okay? We are all connected to each other. So any form of negative energy is going to go through regardless, okay? And it's just not needed. It's not necessary. And yeah, particularly with this channel, you know, this is a space of clear energy and non-judgment and all the rest of it. So, you know, look, I'm really making this statement more from a space of love, okay, and from my the compassionate being side of myself, where, you know, I want you to recognize where your judgment is, to acknowledge where that's coming through, and the negative aspects and things that are related and attached to that, you know, acknowledge it and then process that for yourself, okay, because that's part of your process, your ascension process, okay? And look, this isn't for everybody who views my videos. This is just for a few that, yeah, I've heard some things come through, and I'm just, you know, it's okay, because it speaks more of what you need to work on, okay, within yourself, rather than where I'm at, because I'm just here being a messenger, discussing these things for people who need to hear it, and who are, you know, more dedicated to their process, and wanting to work through as quickly as possible as well, okay. Yeah, so as I've spoken before in other videos, I don't want negativity. I don't have time for it. I've got enough shit to deal with. I honestly do. So yeah, if you're coming from a space of judgment and that kind of thing, please own that within yourself, acknowledge it and process it away from this space, okay, basically, because nobody else in this space needs it, you know, including myself, or others who work on my behalf as well, such as Francy, yeah, things like that, okay. Alright, yeah, that's just a little bit of something I needed to mention because it did come through, okay. Okay, 11:24 and 11:25. Excuse me. I'm just going to quickly touch on some of the embodiments that I've been going through and experiencing in in the past week or so. It's been absolutely insane for me. It really has. And my dude, bless him, for embracing, I guess. He's embracing all of this, which is beautiful. You know, despite our little humans having little rah-rahs, like, what the hell is this shit? What's going on? Yeah, it's just the space we're in where we're coming into a lot of different embodiments, and these are different gods now that we are working with, okay? So, I had spoken previously of some of the Hindu gods, okay? And now we're embodying Greek gods, which is insane, okay? So we have concurrently been embodying Zeus and Poseidon and their counterparts, okay, concurrently, all of them. So these are, you know, gods of the skies and the heavens, and gods of the ocean, okay. And thank you, it came into my knowing this morning. I was shown basically why I've been, or my dude and I have been embodying basically the ocean gods at this time. Basically what that means for us is that we are going to actually go down into the ocean, and how are we putting this? Step into the oceanic battlefields. Basically, we've been doing it from above, okay, up there, and now we're going down deep into the depths of the ocean to protect our underwater cities and whatnot. Excuse me. So, and just generally marine life, okay. Excuse me. This is insane. Yeah, there's just stuff coming through my throat. Yeah, so we're protecting all of these different levels up there, down in the ocean. It's incredible. But yeah, so for the past week, I have mentioned about my hypersensitivity, okay, particularly with my hearing and my eyesight. Basically with my hearing, it's on, how are we putting this? On a level where dolphins and whales and ocean creatures basically can communicate with each other on different sound levels, shall we say. There is a word for it, it just escapes me at the moment. But yeah, on those levels, basically. So hypersensitivity with my hearing has been chronic for my little human, okay, basically, because I'm hearing things that are happening, like, that are actually happening in my physical reality, yes, but over beyond yonder, basically, like far away, and I'm hearing that stuff, and it's like, where's that coming from? I believe in the last video, I was hearing something. It was way up the road, as it would turn out, but I was hearing it as if it was outside my house, basically. And this is what I mean, the sensitivity to hearing. I'm hearing all sorts, and I'm also hearing different frequencies in my physical reality. It's been a little bit chronic in working to stabilize through that, the hearing particularly, and then, you know, with my eyesight, every now and then my oversoul likes to push the salt water into my eyes. Like, I'm not in salt water, I'm just, you know, driving my car or whatever, and and I will feel like I'm underwater, and it's basically what that was, and still is to a degree, is basically testing my eyes, okay, for saltwater resistance, basically. And this is to enable me to see underwater, okay. So there is, and the reason why my eyes have been somewhat out of focus and going through this integration is because there is a layer that is being placed over each of my eyeballs, basically, each eye, and that is, I don't know what it is with the sea creatures, but it's basically that layer that enables them to have their eyes open underwater, in salt water, and be able to look and see where they're going, what they're doing, and all the rest of it. Yeah, so that layer has been coming in, and that's why my eyes have been integrating this stuff, and my eyes are going in and out of focus, and it's been all sorts, but I believe I'm getting there. So every now and then they'll push the saltwater eye test to see if my eyes are yet accustomed to salt water. On an energetic level, yes, okay, because that is other energetic work that my dude and I will be doing. Okay, so basically we're going to go into the depths of the oceans and continuing basically the battlefields there, okay, to deal with whatever it is our negative Nancy friends are trying to infiltrate with down in the ocean, okay. So we are basically protecting all levels where we can with these battlefields situations, okay. So you know, fighting the good fight on all levels where we can, and this is why we're going through these embodiments, so that we can go and do that. It is quite a lot. It has been quite a lot for my little human over the past week or so, because I'm growing scales on my skin. I'm growing fins out of my arms. The other night I grew a fin out of my spine. That was insane and incredibly painful. I do believe in one of the videos I mentioned that I grew the 4 arms out of my spine as part of the Shiva and Shakti embodiments. You know, that hurt a lot. It really did. Excuse me. But you know, now it's let's grow some fins, and right out of your spine, like out of a good section of your spine, let's just push this fin out and send your little human a little bit stir crazy from the pain, okay. You know, bless my dude, he was with me as I went through this, to assist me to breathe through it and make sure that I was okay, because it was a lot of pain. Clairsentiently, that shit hurts, it really does. But these are all things that are going to assist both of us in doing our ocean work, okay, down in the depths, basically. There's other things that are just showing me other things that we will be going through in order to go right down into the deepest parts of the ocean, okay, in terms of compression and things like that, okay. And mind you, this is all energetic, of course. You know, we are energetically going into the depths of the ocean to have these energetic battles, basically, with our negative Nancy friends, so that they don't go in and attack our deep ocean cities, basically, okay, and, you know, some of our ocean, thank you, strongholds that we have, okay. You know, for example, for those who are curious, you know, the city of Atlantis, the physical city of Atlantis is below the depths of the waters, okay, and that's part of what we're going to be doing, okay, is being basically at the front line down there to protect that, okay, as well as other cities that we'll be called to, okay. Excuse me. So yeah, a lot of excuse me, oh my goodness, a lot of ocean animal embodiments are coming through for us, okay. Last night my legs went into somewhat a state of paralysis because I was growing like a mermaid fin, okay, basically like a mermaid fin, so that I could swim underneath the water. Yeah, so they ended up, my oversoul ended up putting my little human out because it was incredibly, I don't even know what the word is, like it was really full on, basically, feeling like I can't move my legs and, you know, things like that, and getting agitated and irritated because of that. You know, any form of paralysis is a little bit crazy and full on. But anyway, so that's what's been happening with my dude and I. We're embodying all this stuff, the great gods, and now Poseidon and his counterpart, who is Amphitrite. And yeah, so that we can go and do that energetic work there, okay. And I've still been going off doing my other energetic work as well, so it's been a lot, and you know, we're somehow managing and getting through and somehow balancing everything. Oh my goodness. Where are we at? It's 22, 53 and 54 and 55. And hello to my dude who said hello with the 22. Okay, so I'm just going to, I do apologise that went for a little bit, but these are things that need to be discussed, okay. I'm just going to run through the next soul core wounds for you guys, okay. I won't get into this one particularly too heavily, into too much detail, because it's a very heavy one, and this is one of those ones where you guys you're pretty much, you know, it's it doesn't take rocket science to, you're not a rocket, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what this one is about, okay. So yeah, you basically know in your own ways of all the different forms of it, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to discuss sexual misery with you, and worthiness as well, okay. And look, with sexual misery, yeah, before I get stuck into this, please know that you may be triggered, okay. As I always mention with triggers, please acknowledge them and process them where you can, and purge them out of you, okay. Yeah, there you go, my eyes going in and out of focus, but I'm just going to detach from it. Excuse me. Okay, now with sexual misery, okay, again, all these soul core wounds are templates, okay. These are all templates that we are working through to relieve those energies, okay. And I'm empty. This is always a sad moment when I finish my cans, honestly. But yeah, so please know that with all these templates that we are all working through, everybody is assisting to clear those energies, okay? However tough things may have been for you personally to deal with these energies and these templates, please know that everyone is working to clear them together, okay? Because we are all working together with all of this, okay? And look, sexual misery and sexual abuse, that kind of stuff, it does show up in different forms through a human's life, okay? And look, we've all heard the stories. If we haven't been directly involved in those, we've somewhat witnessed them as well in some way, shape or form, okay? And you know, it's as basic as the sleazy, dirty sex energies, things like that. You know, whether you've been a victim of it or not, you know, it's still somewhat something to be witnessed, okay, to some degree. And yeah, there's all different forms of sexual misery. You know, this can take, how are we putting this? It covers a lot. It covers quite a wide range, to be perfectly honest with you, because part of sexual misery timelines, you know, excuse me, this does go into victimizer timelines. This also goes into torture timelines. It also goes into obviously worthiness as well, and that's your soul shattering. The experiences that shatter your soul, okay? And worthiness, as I said before, is basically an undertone with all of these soul core wounds, okay? But yeah, sexual misery goes into all sorts of different, sometimes really scary places, okay? Some of the stuff we had to clear last year, the first wave, some of the stuff, like, we've dealt with the most extreme, as well as, you know, and that included the demonic tones, okay, of sexual misery, and that was, oh, you don't have to show me. Yeah, they're just showing me some of the work that I've actually assisted, some of the souls I've assisted through some of the demonic tones of sexual misery. It's not pretty at that level. It is incredibly horrific, okay? But that is the worst of the worst of the energies, okay? Demonic is like literally the worst of the worst of any of these energies. Excuse me. But, you know, and then it kind of filters down, or not really filters down, but it kind of, you know, there's a particular hierarchy to the different levels of sexual misery, you know. It could be just a little bit of this energy that'll show up in different ways, or it could be a different higher level, okay? It just depends on what your soul contracted to do. You know, some of our souls were completely mental in contracting many of these soul core wounds, or all of them, into our poor little human's life, okay? And look, I won't get into too much detail, but for myself, I've had to deal with a lot of sexual misery issues, the soul core wounds, in many different ways, okay, over the years. And, you know, that it did, unfortunately, did involve a lot of sleazy, yuck, dirty, filthy energy that is completely unnecessary. But it is what is needed for our growth, okay? Please know that regardless of how intense and crazy some of the soul core wound presentations have been in your life, okay, it was all for your growth, so that you can move through it, so you can release it and keep going, okay? Yes, I know it's easy for me to speak about because I've ascended and I'm past all that and I'm detached from all that. Of course, it's easy for me to discuss it in a detached manner, but I've also been there. I've also been through some pretty insane shit in my human life before I hit the fast track portion of my ascension process. And as I've mentioned, my soul decided to include a lot of different things in regards to all of these soul core wounds for me, for my little human. So, yeah, I won't get into detail, but I have dealt with a lot, okay? And sexual misery was horrible to have to deal with, okay? And that kind of stuff is soul shattering. And, you know, look, some of that stuff, some of that energy presents in, for some people, you know, one night stands, things like that, constantly being hit on by or sleazed on by people. And, you know, as I've mentioned before, you're not even interested, you're not even looking for it, but it just keeps coming at you, okay? That is a form of witnessing. What is that? There's stuff happening with my spine. I don't like it because it hurts. Anyway, I'm going to detach. Yeah, so, you know, it comes in different forms, even if it is just for you to witness, but it is for you to know that it exists. The energy does exist. The energy exists because it needs to be cleared, okay? Excuse me. As an angelic, we are, as I've mentioned before, we are at the front line of clearing all these energies and clearing basically the worst of them, okay? So that when humanity come through their ascension processes, they deal with it at a lesser level, okay? And they don't have to feel it as strongly as what we have, okay? And look, you know, I'm not going to get into sexual misery too much, simply because it is a huge trigger for many, okay? It really is. And the only thing that I ask of you with that, and I'm starting to feel some stuff, can I detach from that, please? Because, as I said before, I'm still picking up on your mental and emotional stuff, so it still does come through to me. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just asking for it to be detached from me as I discuss this. Yeah, the only thing I ask of you with all of these soul core wounds, okay, is to process them, acknowledge their existence at the very least, even if you've just been a witness in whatever way, shape or form, okay? If you haven't been directly involved and had these soul core wounds directly present for you in your life, even if you have just witnessed it in other people's lives and things like that, it is all a form of witnessing to whatever degree, and it all does need to be cleared, okay? So, as I always say, with the triggers, please acknowledge it for what it is, okay? And do your best to process it and clear it as guided, okay? And I honestly can't stress enough, basically keeping the line of communication open with your higher self and your team that work with you constantly, okay? They're with you all the time. So please make sure you keep that communication line open. Discuss things with them. Have conversations with them, okay? Thank you. They're just mentioning quickly also with your counterpart, okay? If you are in conversation, if you have a direct channel with your counterpart, if that's been developed highly, have that conversation with them as well, because they will be assisting you as well as your higher self and team, okay? Excuse me. Now, I will just touch on worthiness with this just quickly. Basically, you know, with the whole sexual misery side of things and worthiness, what example are we going to use? Okay, thank you. So they want me to use the example of one night stands, okay? And, you know, the worthiness part of this basically is, you know, standing strong within yourself, okay, and feeling worthy within yourself to not need that form of gratification, shall we say. You know, and it is a form of gratification in terms of instant gratification, okay, for, you know, your body needs and things like that. In that sense, okay, your sexual needs, yes, that's why I'm saying it. Goosebumps. Yeah, it is a form of instant gratification for that sake, okay. Particularly if you are an angelic, okay, and you do know of your counterpart, okay, if you're well aware of who they are and all the rest of it, part of your contract is to not be with others, okay. I mean, look, there are moments where you'll be guided to be with others, you know, if you've been married and things like that. If you've had relationships, of course, you know, these are things that you need to work through, okay. But in order to get to that space where you know within yourself, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need to feed into that energy, basically, to go off and do that with somebody, okay, because you're okay within yourself. You feel whole and complete within yourself, and that's where your worthiness is, okay, in feeling whole and complete within yourself. And you don't need to go and invest in that energy. You don't need to feed it. And, you know, being aware of your counterpart also means, you know, feeling worthy of them, okay, and knowing that you are willing to wait for them and to be with them in such a way, because that is the most sacred of all sexual acts, shall we say, when you are, yes, that's why I'm saying it, when you are with your counterpart and when you have your sacred sexual moment, basically, that's beyond anything earthly on a human level. It's beyond anything there here at ground level, okay, because it is an energetic thank you, alchemy of both your energies and everything, because you are sacred divine beings, you are sovereign beings coming together in your sacred sexual act, okay. And basically that's the goosebumps, that is far beyond anything that could be instant gratification on a human level, okay. What you feel in that moment with your counterpart can never be achieved or felt on a human level, okay. And excuse me, for those of you who have come into that sensation and that feeling when you've been up on the higher dimensions, meeting with your counterpart and, you know, having your sacred union acts and everything else, on that level, on that higher level, you know that feeling. You know that feeling. It is much stronger and much more powerful than anything earthly and human, okay. And, you know, when you look at it that way, it is absolutely worth the wait for when you do come into union and be with them, okay, because there is nothing like it. Say hello to my dude, he's sitting here. Hi. There we go, 38, 22, thank you. And there's a 22, he says hi. But yeah, so there literally is nothing on earth that would feel anything close to what you feel with your counterpart when you are in the sacred sexual act, okay, and all the rest of it with the kundalini and all that stuff, okay. Yeah, so in regards to worthiness, they're pushing my hunger, I've got to go eat, stabilize myself, because I can feel some things coming in and I'm not liking it right now. Excuse me. So in regards to worthiness on a human level, okay, if you are conscious of what is coming and, you know, the space that you're going to come into in your union space with your counterpart, if you're conscious of all of that, you know, it assists in holding strong in your conviction as a divine being to not go off and do these little human things, like go off and have one night stands and, you know, that kind of instant gratification. I mean, look, if that's what you choose to do, then that's on you. But please know that there are karmic ramifications with everything. Energy has to return to itself, okay? So if you are well conscious of your counterpart and everything and all of what you will come into, but you still choose to go and, you know, partake in human gratifications and indulgences, shall we say, that energy has to return to itself. It always does. Okay? It always does. And it will come back to you, and it will also come back to your counterpart. Please know that. Okay? Excuse me. I can sit here and speak of that as well. Okay? Because, thank you, through karmic entanglement is how that energy returns. Okay? I have spoken of it a little bit before. Basically, the energy does go through both you and your counterpart. Okay, when you go off and indulge in those things, it does go through and it does play out. And what it does is it makes extra work for you to clear, extra timelines for you to clear. And the thing is, you know, the bottom line with that, and I'm just going to discuss it a little bit further, but the bottom line with that is our lovely negative Nancy friends, okay, bless them for their efforts, but what they're going to do is they're going to do their best to put people in front of you to lure you in so that you can go off and engage in these acts, engage in these indulgences, and create more timelines for you to clear, for you and your counterpart to clear, to create more work for you to do, to slow your process. Okay? Yeah, I can speak of that because I've experienced that, okay, firsthand. And in different ways, however the energy is presented and played out, I've experienced it. A lot of us first wavers did, and it wasn't pretty, okay? And yeah, so I'm really just letting you guys know that, you know, those illusions, they're everywhere. They literally are, and they come in so many different forms, including that person who looks very lovely and very enticing and all the rest of it, and, you know, makes you want to, but but please do not buy into that, okay? If you know of your counterpart and all the rest of it, wait for them, okay? Feel worthy enough within yourself to wait for them, to wait for the big kahuna, because that is the amazing shit that is going to explode into your life when the time is right, when you come into union, okay? And it's going to be far better than anything you could experience on earth with another human, and that is a guarantee, okay? But yeah, as I said, if you've been experiencing that on higher levels, higher dimensions with your counterpart anyway, then you already know. You already know what that feels like, and you already know that any kind of human indulgences in that sense will not and cannot compare, okay? Alright, okay, I'm going to leave it there because I need to go and have a little break and get on with other things. Excuse me. So, yeah, so I will leave it there. If you guys have anything that you need to discuss, please send me an email or, you know, comment below and everything. And I will do my best to get through these soul core wounds for you guys. And yeah, as I've said before, if you've been triggered by anything that I discuss at all, please process it and release those energies however you are guided to, okay? And yeah, I honestly wish you guys all the best through the soul core wounds, particularly because they're pretty full on, okay? And as I've said, they present in so many different ways for everybody, okay? But it's all there to witness and clear, to acknowledge and clear, okay? So that we can get rid of all that shit and all that negative energy out of Earth, out of our atmosphere, out of each other, okay? And to move into that space of unconditional love and unity consciousness and all the rest of it, okay? It is coming, okay? We just need to do a little bit more tough work to get there, okay? Alright. Okay, guys. I hope that excuse me, whichever thumbnail I put onto this video. I hope that it helps to assist you guys in receiving a little bit of healing energy, okay? And, you know, take what you will from it as I do these videos and attach more, but it is there for you guys, okay? Alright guys, I'm sending you all so much love, okay? Please take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Mwah! Bye for now.